Okay, so for this video, we are going to be factoring by grouping, which means we have four terms, and we're going to factor out a common factor from them in 2 by 2 groups. So we have 5v to the third plus 7v squared plus 10v plus 14. All right, so if we look at it 2 groups at a time, or 2 terms at a time, we are going to look at those first two. We are going to say, what do they have in common that I can pull out or divide out? And they both have v's. And the most I can pull out of both of them is that lower exponent, which is the 2. So then when we factor, we do have to write what we're dividing out. So I have a v squared. And then we're going to simplify each of those fractions. So 5v to the third divided by v squared, I'm going to subtract that v. So I'm going to have 5v to the first. I'm just going to write it as 5v. And the second term, I've got 7v squared divided by v squared, and those v squareds are going to cancel out. And you're just going to have plus 7. All right, second group, we always deal with whatever sign we're going to pull out. If this starts with a negative number, I always want to pull out a negative number, just like when I'm factoring out a GCF of anything. If it starts with a negative, I want that to be part of my GCF. So in this case, I have 10v and 14. They are both even, and I can take a 2 out of them, and that is about the only thing I can take out of them. So it is a positive 2, since there's stuff in front. I do need to write the positive, so 2 is going out. And 10v divided by 2 is 5v. And plus 14 divided by 2 is 7. So we have now gone from 4 terms, which were those 4 terms that we started with, to now we have 2 terms, because remember, terms are separated by pluses or minuses. Groups in parentheses count as just one thing, especially if they have stuff multiplied with it. Now, with those 2 terms that I have, I do notice that they both have the same parentheses. So my parenthesis is my GCF that I'm dividing out. The next time, you can actually write it underneath it if you want. So 5v plus 7 and 5v plus 7. Remember, whatever you're dividing out, you must write in your problem, because you cannot lose something. It has to multiply back in once we've finished everything. And that'll simplify and delete from both of those. So that will leave me with v squared plus 2. Now, your parentheses, you can write them in whichever order. Sometimes we get in the habit of putting the ones with the highest exponent in the first parenthesis, but it really doesn't matter too much. You can have it in whichever order. So I'm just going to put it in the order that I have it, and that is 5v plus 7 and a v squared plus 2. All right, and I have just made my screen small, so we will make it bigger, I think. Yeah, I have my screen has decided to be my keyboard. Yeah, battery must be dying. Anyways, we're going to check this. We should be good on this, and then get to the next problem. Doesn't have a problem with our order or anything. So we will look for a new problem. And in this problem, we have still 4 terms, and we're going to get down to just 1 term where we have everything multiplied. So I have 12y cubed minus 21y squared plus 28y minus 49. So bigger numbers, not so friendly numbers, but we can still divide them out and work with that. So first 2. I have a 12y cubed and a 21y squared, so I know I can take out a y squared for both. And if I'm thinking of my factors of 12 and 21, I know 3 goes into both of them, so I am going to take a 3 out. So I have 3y squared, because that's what I'm dividing out. That was my GCF. And then I am going to reduce. That is 2, not a 1. And this 3 goes into 12 4 times. So I have 4y minus, because the negative divided by a positive. 3 goes into 21 7 times, and the y squareds cancel out. All right. And then the next group, I'm starting with a positive, so I don't have to worry about dividing out a negative. So it is a positive looking between 28 and 49. 49 doesn't have any factors. So pretty much 7 has to go into 28, which it does. And divide by 7. So I'm going to have my GCF is going to be positive 7 from those two. And then a 4y minus 7. Looking at my two terms that I have, that 4y minus 7 is in common. So that'll be my first parentheses. And it could be my second parenthesis. It doesn't really matter. 3y squared plus 7. And if you're getting confused where things are coming from, you can always write it beneath it. Remember, it is a GCF. I am dividing it out, and it's that parenthesis 4y minus 7 from both of them. Okay, you get to get fewer steps as you get used to all of the stuff. But if you ever get confused, you can always go back to writing and all the steps out. So this is going to be parentheses 4y minus 7. And the other parenthesis is 3y squared plus, oops, I'm still up there. I didn't go down. Plus 7. Check my work. If I can get my mouse to reappear. All right, last one for this should be a good one. Oh, smaller numbers they gave me. Okay, so looking at this, rewriting, I have 3y squared, cubed, not squared, minus 4y squared, plus 6y minus 8. So first group, there is no number that goes into both 3 and 4, so I'm just going to deal with the letters. I get to take a y squared out of both. So I have y squared and 3y minus 4. The second group, I get to take, they're even, so I'm going to take out a 2. If there is nothing that you can take out of them, it's like what I do with the coefficients when I don't have any numbers that I have to take out a 1 if there wasn't anything to take out. So I'm taking out a positive 2. And 6y divided by 2 is 3y. Negative 8 divided by 2 is minus 4. Looking at my parentheses, they are the same. I'm going to write them this time at the end, just because I can. So that's coming out, and what is going to be left is a y squared plus 2. And I can type that all in, and we should be good to go to the next problem. Squared plus 2. 5 minus 4. And there we go. We are ready to go to the next video.